gotta pray for you.
We extended for an extra night because this place is really cool and we haven't seen enough of it.
And where are we going now?
We're going for lunch.
At a Syrian cafe.
Tangier is one of the oldest cities of Morocco. It's over 2,500 years old, and it's located in the north on the Strait of Gibraltar.
We went past this place last night on our way to dinner, and all the side streets directly up from us are closed off to vehicle traffic, and they all had in each different road a street performer, and they were really old-fashioned. They were like mime street performers and aerobatics street performers and stuff like that, so it was really cool. And we wanted to come back, but this was very crowded last night. Like, definitely this is a nighttime culture, because while there's a lot of people here now, last night it was cheek and jowl. So yeah, it was really cool, and 99% of people, or maybe 99.9% of people, seem to be locals, especially at night time. So it was very cool, very funky, felt very exotic as well. Even though it's a busy city and everything like that, it felt very exotic and great that you seem to be the other and everybody else seemed to know it, and they had all the in-jokes at the mime and things like that, so it was great.
There are a couple of places in the city where it's great to just hang out and watch the street performers. There's a really relaxed, friendly culture here.
We're exploring the souk, so we're just having a walk around. We extended our stay in Tangier by another day because it's really cool and funky and, you know, interesting, and it's got a depth of architectural detail that takes a while to experience fully, and to, you know, obviously you can spend a lifetime here and still discover things, but we're just tripping over new discoveries every day really easily. So we're having a lovely time.
Tangier is famous for being in between cultures. It's not quite Africa, sort of Morocco, and it's not European either. It's culturally diverse. From the old town, it's easy to walk down and along the waterfront. You can marvel at the fortress-style city walls that loom over the water. There's also a vast beach here if you'd like to have a little swim. If you want, you can shock yourself walking into modern buildings right next to historic architectural features.
We're at a square just outside the souk, or the Medina, the old town. We've had a very interesting morning of exploring the old town, which is very diverse and interesting, has a lot of architectural merit, and is really jam-packed. It makes it very tight, so it's hard for filming. We're in an old French theatre, which is still showing French films, but nothing in English, and it's really cool and Bohemian, and inside is wonderfully to look at. And there's toilets if you're interested.
And who are we meeting here, Charlie?
PJ's arranged for us to meet an Australian that's a bit of a ne'er-do-well, and she's a perpetual traveller by the sounds of it, so that she'll have interesting stories and we'll be able to share our adventures with her.
She's a rat bag like us, so looking forward to it. Hi, we just met an Australian
who's been living overseas for about 3 years.
Yeah.
During COVID, she told us about the difficulties she had as an Australian overseas, dealing with the consulate and running out of money while living overseas, not being able to move from country to country and being abandoned by the Australian government.
But, interesting thing, after Charlie had to go back, I stayed chatting, and I've signed us up as extras in a film set production tomorrow. I don't know if we're actually going or not, but Charles this is the first time he's heard about it. He's shaking his head, but it's okay. The bus would arrive at 4 a.m. So it's a nice early start and gives us lots of options at the end of the day. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't think it'll happen.
PJ may go. I may stay here and guard the fort.
But I just thought it'd be funny to tell him in front of you guys. So we'll see.
This is my problem, you see. This is the problem exactly.
It's an American production. It could be interesting.
It could be bloody terrible. And 4 o'clock in the morning is not when I would be going. Our time in Tangier is over for the moment. Well, I'm sure we'll be back because it's an interesting city. It's really cool. Maybe for a bike tour. I think Morocco's a good place to bike tour from what we've seen so far. It's we're off now to Rabat, which is the capital city of Morocco. But it seems like everywhere's been the capital city or has been, so it must just be its turn. Okay, yeah, it's been great. It's been a great sojourn. And this accommodation that we've been in has been so lovely and it's hard to leave. One of the interesting things that we've run into quite a few Australian expats that live here in Tangiers, and we've noticed a difference from the ones that we find over in Europe. So there are a lot more Bohemian over here. So maybe it just attracts a very colourful individual, Africa does. But definitely they've come over here for the difference in cost of living, but they're definitely very Bohemian, you know, a hippie sort of vibe, strong hippie vibe, and we've run into several of them. So they're very interesting people to be around. And PJ sort of, you can see it almost clicking, you know, but not quite. They're a little bit further to the left than she is, and she's pretty far to the left. Believe it or not, this is second class in the railway, and it's beautiful. And it's got chargers, it's clean, it's air conditioned, it's very nice. It's got tray tables, it's got ports, the whole things. I don't know what first class it's got, but this hasn't got, but it must be pretty spec.
We were both quite impressed. Morocco's railway system is pretty excellent. So overall, Tangier is a place to go if you want to experience a really bohemian style of life or travel in Morocco and you're keen on the cultural tapestry. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Next time, we're going to be in Rabat.